While the European Commission, led by Ursula von der Leyen, battles it out with China over how much the tariffs on their EVs will be, here in the UK we already know, not a lot. The average tariff applied to all Chinese imports is around 4%. That applies to cars. So in layman's terms, it's none. Well, that makes the importing of Chinese EVs into the UK really quick, easy, and already BYD has overtaken Fiat in the small car end of the market. But what else is headed our way? We've compiled a list of what we believe to be the top 20 EVs headed our way from anywhere, in fact, in 2025. As a surprise bonus entry, we've just discovered a company brand new to EVs that you'll never get in a million years, and they've hit the road running with two GT models with stunning specs. Keep watching, and as long as you promise not to cheat, post your guesses below before we make the grand reveal. By the way, UK prices are reasonably comparable with those across Europe by the time you add in delivery, VED or equivalent. I'm Dave, this is Dave Takes It On. Well, we lead the way with BMW and a totally new iX3. Well, this is built on a brand new platform, the Neue Klasse SUV, and for those not fluent in German, that's the new class SUV platform. It will also be 800 volt architecture, meaning faster charging speeds now that more 300 kilowatts and above ultra-rapid chargers are being installed. We don't have final specs or prices yet, but it's due for launch later in 2025. Well, this is a company that takes EVs rather seriously. We predict this will be a popular car. They're likely to sell over 350,000 EVs in total this year, making a penetration of about 20% of all the vehicles, and that's matching or beating much larger rivals like a resurgent General Motors and Stellantis, but makes Ford look absolutely pathetic, and are being lucky if they can make 100,000 units this year. Well, number two, BYD Sealion 7. Talk about Tesla Model Y Challenger, they even look the same. This will be the flagship version and gets a spec to match. Expect a spec very similar to the Model 5, but also expect a few surprises in an attempt to make it stand out. It has already sold really well in limited markets. It has gone down extremely well. Reviews are mixed, but generally good, and the price must not yet been finalised. But expect the base model to just undercut the Model Y, but it might be a very big undercut as the Model Y refresh is now getting much closer. That will take some beating. Number three, we're now going to get long-awaited Citroen EC3. It's arriving in 2025, but also now expect to see the Citroen EC3 Aircross. This is an SUV version of the cheap budget EC3 and will appeal to many. Expect the same budget or basic level of trim, no frills, but at around 25,000, this should prove popular. Well, if you're not influenced by the bells and whistles of many auto manufacturers, this could be a good choice for you. For example, if you want CarPlay, Apple CarPlay, Google CarPlay, check your mobile, as in France on the basic model, that will be your display. Luckily, they include a smartphone mount. It is a great entry into the world of budget EVs with a fairly decent spec and more space than you'd expect. Number four, Fiat might be on the point of understanding what the customers actually want. See, their Fiat 500 has been a total flop. Not because it's a bad car. It isn't. In fact, it's a great little car with loads of style. The issue was always the price. Petrol version costs around 18,000. The EV version, the identical car, 10,000 more. Even leasing, you can get a BYD Dolphin for 183 a month, while a 500 is 359. That's twice the price. Well, with the launch of the Grande Panda, a much bigger car and much better spec, they could have a winner, as this one is launching at 22,000. This is getting much closer to where these budget EVs really should be. Now, if we ever reach the day when you go into a new car showroom and you have three choices, petrol, hybrid and BEV, all at the same price, Stellantis has just done that with Vauxhall. We'll begin to see just how popular EVs actually are. If the BEV is 10,000 more, no wonder sales have slowed down. In at number 5, Ford Puma Gen E. Ford go backwards. While Mercedes, BMW launch new specific EV platforms, Ford heads backward to cramming the battery and drivetrain into their existing petrol body. This is not a good thing. It's not great for efficiency. Still, it's not a problem because while Citroen, Fiat and Hyundai are launching their budget small EVs at 20 to 25,000, Ford revert to their pre-2020 pricing, and they're going to launch this little car at 32,000. They may want to look at how Fiat managed to get such good results from doing exactly that with the 500e. Oh, sorry, that one crashed and burned. Well, unless these are incredibly cheap to lease, they're going to appear on Auto Trader later in 2025 at heavily discounted prices. Number 6, still sticking with small budget EVs, we find two offerings from Chinese firm LeapMotor. Well, the first is the T03, launching at 15,995. Yeah, you heard it right. 16,000 for a nice budget EV with a range well over 100 miles, some say 140, in the real world. Plenty enough for most people. It even looks quite similar to the Fiat 500e, which should have been priced at 16,000. As a second car, this is about perfect. Number 7, the other is the C10. It's quite a larger one, nudging up into the Model Y and BYD Sealion territory. Expect this to be about 36,000, although deals are on offer, and that will probably give the best part of £10,000 cheaper. The reports are all fine. LeapMotor, of course, is the chosen partner of Stellantis. Number 8, Hyundai continue to launch of budget models with the Inster, due to launch at 23,000. This is perfectly priced for those who like the Korean cars. Hyundai and Kia don't need a really big car. In the petrol range, the Tucson is really quite a large car. This Inster is a refreshing change, small but boxy, so it offers loads of internal room. Number 9, on recent video, I suggested Renault launch an EV version of the Renault 5 GT. Yeah, that monster with the huge rear wheel arches and used for rallying back in the day. Seems they've been beaten to it by Alpine, their sport and racing part of the group. Yeah, the one that run the Formula 1 team with Ocon and Gasly, two French drivers. Anyway, they've just announced their sporty EV, the A290. It's a hot hatch. It's based on the new Renault 5. Now, although most EVs are pretty swift away from the lights, this one is as well, but not spectacularly. Suspension is tightened up and it looks the part, far more stylish. Price looks like low 30,000 for entry models or high 30,000s for the premium. And at this price, they'll get attention. The GT or highly tuned versions always get a premium, so price is probably in keeping. The only snag here, there are many EVs that have a 0 to 60 time very much quicker than the quoted 6.4 seconds. For an EV, that's slow. The MG4 EV, the X-Power version, about the same price, that will get there in half the time. Road holding on that one is not bad either. Well, number 10, another beefed up sporty model, Hyundai Ioniq 6N. True beast of a car, has the distinctive Marmite shape, love it or hate it, and now gets to go really quick, 0 to 60, 3.5 seconds. It's way up there with the Lamborghinis, Ferraris, but at a fraction of the price. Well, no official price has been confirmed as yet. The guess is probably in the mid-60s, making the Lambo at 200,000 look rather silly. Once you needed to buy a supercar to get the performance, now just buy an EV. Bog standard Tesla Model 3 long range is 0 to 60 in 4.2 seconds. That's a family saloon. Number 11, Mercedes seem to have run out of names and letters. You see, normally their class models, the A, B and C, are translated in the EV world into EQA, B and C, but their SUV is a bit confusing. Anyway, a new all-electric version of the CLE, whatever letters and numbers they decide to give it, that will be due out later in 2025. It too appears to be on a brand new platform and also 800-volt architecture, offering really fast charging speeds. You get usual Mercedes class and style and up-to-date technology. Well, depending on the launch price, it could be exactly the right move. 12 still with Mercedes, but a bit lower down the pecking orders as the new EQC model due out in direct response to the BMW iX3. The last EQC was just a petrol model repowered to run on green electrons. The pace of development in all aspects of EV are fantastic, and launching a brand new model but using the last gen tech is unlikely to wow the buyers. Could the new EQC use a new platform? BMW has done it. Maybe you should. Number 13, Mini launched the latest in their range, the Aceman, although the Mini fad seems to be totally passing me by. It's a Mini. There are thousands about. This one looks just like a Mini. At the mid 20k price, these would be really good deals, but they aren't. Even the basic Mini EV is a ridiculous £30,000, and get the Cupra S, which once was a seriously fast car. You get passable performance in a car that looks just like a Mini. And there are thousands of them. Oh yeah, you get a few stick-on widgets, you get sports seats, smaller steering wheel, but for an extra 3,800 you can choose the level 3 package and add a panoramic sunroof, standard on a cheaper Tesla. Sun protection glass, who doesn't offer that these days? Active seat, simply means it's got massage function. Memory seats, standard on all EVs. Driving assistance, you get the message. Just about everything they try and sell you extra for nearly £4,000 is standard on most EVs. But it is a John Cooper. Yeah, but you get 225-mile range, that's quite pitiful, and a 0 to 60 in 5.9 seconds. Most EVs are significantly quicker. Totally beats me why these are so popular. Oh well, to each his or her own. Number 14, Nissan are about to launch a shock to the EV market. They've decided the Leaf is out of date. Hooray! Instead of a facelift, they're starting again. It's bigger, better, everything's now an SUV. They call it. Looks a bit low though. Smaller than the huge Aria. I seriously hope they don't go and spoil it all by offering CHAdeMO. Get real, Nissan. The UK and European standard is CCS2. If you want to sell here, put that in. Accept nothing else. Do not make it a chargeable extra. This should end up a really popular family car for 2025. Number 15, Cupra set to launch their latest model, the Super Mini Raval. Cupra is the Spanish branch of the VW group, and over there the Cupra Born competes with the VW i3 and the Ibiza. It's proved very popular. This model, available at the moment only in concept form, is a direct competitor to the ID.2 that will be coming out if Volkswagen survive, but will be more expensive. Once again, if you pay more, you get more. 16, total newcomer to the UK, IM. Yeah, that's the name. It's a Chinese joint manufacturer with SAIC, just starting to get a foot in the door and aiming very much at the premium end of the EV market. It's a big car. It's 800 volts, has a range of 500 or 640, depending on the model. 640 miles. It's likely to enter the UK at about 40,000. Boy, do the Europeans not know what they're missing. This is aimed at the luxury executive saloons. Think BMW, equally the massive Tesla Model 3 market. And yet they have an L7 aimed at the Mercedes and Model S market. That's coming out later. The IM stands for Intelligent Mobility, so expect this to be exceedingly well spec'd in the computer field. 17, Hyundai launched their Ioniq 9, a true workhorse. It's about 3 times the price of the Inster, but you could probably get one of those inside this one. 3 rows of seats with a walk-through option, swiveling middle seats, which gives you a lounge-like space in the second and third rows. You also get front seats that fold totally flat for beds and have space for up to 4 people to relax flat out while charging. Oh. But hang on, it's 800 volt architecture, 300 kilowatt charging speed, but you can't even fold the seats down before it's finished charging. Price going to be in the mid 60k. At that price, you rather get the idea that the CarPay automatic parking feature, which identifies which parking app operates when you park and makes the payment for you, is sort of a standard feature. Well, the French group for number 18, Citroen's got a separate division for their DS range, and the DS number 8, catchy little name, it's a big luxury flagship model. It will offer cutting-edge technology and extreme luxury. Harks back to the old days when Citroen launched the ID and the DS range, with the DS being the car of choice for French prime ministers and presidents well into the 70s. 19, if Jeep has not gone bust before the year end, we might get to see the Wagoneer. It's a large 4x4 with cracking performance and over 300-mile range. Well, in my time, I ran 2 Jeep Cherokees. I found them to be really basic but incredibly rugged. Seems that the trend to make 4x4s into luxury vehicles without losing the off-road capability is catching on with Jeep. At least Jeep hopes to, and I hope that they've lost the acronym. In the Second World War, the word Jeep stood for just enough essential parts. That was my rugged comparison. And finally, number 20, if you're sitting there stuffed as a Christmas turkey, you find the National Lottery calls your numbers, you might want to head down to Maserati. They've gone full send EV and they want to replace their 3-litre V6 beast of an engine fitted into the 2021 MC20 Folgore, which means Thunderbolt, is an all-EV version with 3 motors, like the Tesla Plaid, 700 brake horsepower, 0 to 60, 2 seconds. That's seriously quick. What a cracking Christmas gift to yourself. And as an added bonus, you suddenly discover that, hey, I can't take the kids to drama or scouts or school. I've only got one single seat vacant once I'm in it. Okay, I know I've missed out some models. Some prices will change before launch date. Some manufacturers go bust. Some models due to be released will not. They'll be delayed, or some of them will be cancelled. And some may never move from concept and a good idea to the production line. But this will give you a taste. Now, you always get comments from viewers who say, well, you missed me out. I need this, I need that. And none of those you suggest, offer them. So for the lucky groundwork engineer who would get any other vehicle stuck in the mud up to the axles, we've got just the vehicle for you. Here is your bonus ideal EV for 2025. JCB has gone electric, and on offer here is the JCB GT, available in 2 variants for those who like to have the very best. Got flat pack furniture to collect? Easy peasy. Choose the catchy named 35-22E. Also great for nipping down to the off licence to pick up the beer for your barbecue. This handles it with ease. Mud, no problem at all to the twin Caterpillar tracks of the 19C-IE, made of rubber of course so as not to rip the tarmac off the roads. No parking space? No problem, just pick up the car that's dared to steal your space, move him elsewhere. And if he's too heavy to lift, then shove him out of the way with the 1330mm steel blade. You also get the very latest in LED lights and several other colours of lights, and they all flash. It is Christmas! So 0 to 60 time, that's 0 to 60 centimetres high, will lift a weight of 700 kilos, just under 2 seconds. Range is no problem, you get a whole day out of a single charge, plus the ultimate bonus, 0 vehicle excise duty. Available in yellow. I'm Dave. This is Dave Takes It On. Thanks very much for watching. If you have enjoyed this, please click the like button. It does help us. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe, totally free. If you click the notification bell, we will notify you every time we launch a video. Big thank you also for our Patreon members. Thank you very much. Without you, the channel would not be where it is today. And just as a small message, if anyone out there does go down with the JCB route, give me a call. I'd love to see one and road test it. So thanks very much. I'm Dave.